Hello and welcome. As you can see, I'm playing around with the software, just two cameras, just playing around different angles. Sorry, but boys with their toys. So we've got a few people watching us. We've had our introductory countdown and videos, just quick catch up. If you are a regular, then you know what to expect. It's myself, a Scottish medium, being chaired by my wife Ying, who you can't see, she's off camera. If you want to get a message, type quite clearly that you want a message. My wife Ying then puts your name into a box and you get chosen randomly. I will try and get round as many people as I can. If I was working in a church, I would come to you directly and I would ask permission to work with you. I'm not going to do that. We're going to take, if you're asking for a message, that as permission to work with you. It's evidential medium, spiritual mediumship. I will first try and connect with a spirit, one of your loved ones, try and give you evidence of that person. Try and give me yeses, nos at that point, or don't knows. Please also don't limit it to just a yes. So if I say it's your father, please say yes, father in spirit. Or if I say it's a man with a moustache, say yes, moustache. The reason for that's very simple. There's a time delay between you seeing this video and me getting your responses. So quite often I'm giving you evidence and it might be out of sync. So if you're coming back saying yes, 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 I'm not very sure what you're saying yes to. So again, try, if you're saying yes or no, just say, I'm not asking you to give me information. I'm just asking you to say yes, confirmation of whatever it is I've said. It makes it much easier for me to work. I'm not having to sort of repeat myself additionally to confirm what it is that you've said yes to twice if you say yes more than once. So as I said, there is a time delay. Not very sure what the time delay is tonight. At least 10 seconds, which if it's 10 seconds, that's very good. We have had time delays of up to a minute previously. I will open with a prayer in a moment. I will then give you a very short address, then get straight into the messages. I try to keep the messages as short as possible, trying to give at least two or three lines of evidence, then getting straight into the message itself. That's the way that I normally work on a church platform or gateway if you're from America. Typically in a church service that lasts for about 45 to 50 minutes, I would normally give 25 to 30 messages. I'm finding that doing it online with the time delays that we've got and having to wait to get feedback, etc., I'm getting an average of about 10 to 12 messages per broadcast. We do this every Sunday, 8 o'clock UK time, which is 3 o'clock Eastern time. Not sure what that is in other time zones. I'm not going to sit here and go through them all, but please feel free to come back again at 8 o'clock. I am running circles online, so if you're here watching this because you're coming to the free open circle I'm doing later tonight, then obviously come along and talk about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, give me a message or I'll put a link up when we're finished. Basically, it's a free open circle. I'm running it at 10 o'clock UK time, which is 5 o'clock Eastern time, Eastern as in Eastern United States, Canada, etc. So if you all join me, please, in an opening prayer. Please clasp your hands, close your eyes. Thank you. Dear Father, Mother, Spirit, thank you very much for bringing us all together online. Thank you for helping us to work. Thank you for opening the door for myself to make contact with loved ones of the people that are watching. Please help me to work. Please help these loved ones to bring forward messages that are appropriate. Thank you. Amen. So, if you've watched the last 2 weeks, my address each week, for some reason, seems to be about transport. 2 weeks ago, I was talking about someone driving a go-kart, basically, on the motorway. Can't remember what I was talking about last week, but I do remember it was transport. I'm going to talk about transport again. I was out this afternoon buying some computer equipment, and I was driving back through my town. A long drive back to the town, there were 3 people on mopeds in front of me. Now, nothing wrong with driving a moped on the road. I'm not being critical. What I am being critical of is that the 3 of them were driving at 20 miles an hour in first a 40-mile zone, then then a 30-mile zone, and okay, that they thought that was a safe driving speed. Okay, fine, I can accept that. But what I can't accept is that they were driving 1, 2, 3 and not leaving enough space on a road for a faster traveling car to safely overtake them. Basically, they were out for a Sunday drive on their little mopeds. They were going at 20 miles an hour, taking in the scenery, family outing by the looks of it, him, her, and somebody else. I'm not going to make any other sarcastic remarks or assumptions. And I wasn't particularly in a hurry, but I might have been. I mean, I might have been coming back here in a hurry to get here for the service. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, apart from my frustration at driving. I suppose the message really is, don't allow yourself to be frustrated by things that don't really matter. That I'm a human being like anybody else. I'm a driver. I do tend to put my foot down. I do like to drive fast. And maybe Spirit was telling me to slow down. Maybe Spirit was just telling me not to be frustrated at other people out for a Sunday drive. After all, they're not idiots coming back trying to do something like this. Basically, spirits speak to us all the time. It gives us messages, and it gives us messages through other people, and we have to be open to receive them. I wasn't open to receiving it this afternoon. Hopefully, I'm open to receiving it now that I think about it in contemplation. Okay, so that's my frustration out the way. That's my message as it is out the way. Let's get to work. So, Nicola Cunniffe, coming to Nicola. Nicola, I've got a man and a woman coming forward, a couple, quite elderly. There is a few years between the 2 of them, though. Very different personalities, very clearly different personalities. She is showing herself, I'm going to use the word sunny side up. I know that talks to I know that's talking about eggs, and that's a very American style of talking about eggs. But that's the phrase that I'm getting. I'm seeing her wearing a straw hat, a summer hat. That's why I was saying sunny. Yeah, she's definitely wearing a straw hat. No, not a sort of farmer straw hat. It's very stylish. So out here, top hat, almost sort of. It's cane. Yeah, that's the word. That's the description I'm looking for. It's a cane hat, not a straw hat. A cane hat. Very rigid in its sort of the way it's been made. Age-wise, for the woman, wrong side of 60. She could be a good bit older than that. Excuse me. Also, something about her eye. She's suddenly drawing attention. I can see myself scratching my eye here, which I shouldn't do. Coronavirus spreading to myself. But she's drawing attention to a very itchy. It's my right. I know it's with the video broadcast. It's looking like left, but it's my right eye. So either of the 2 of them, something to do with the right eye. He's older than her, or at least he appears older than her. Oh, there's at least 10 or 15 years. I feel as though there's at least 10 or 15 years between the 2 of them. I get the feeling he was slow. I don't know if it's mentally slow or if it's physically slow, but she's the dynamic one. He's the slow one. She's the get up and go. He's the stay at home and play it safe. Yeah, that's the expression, stay at home and play it safe. So Nicola, can you recognize this couple? I've got a yes and an absolutely. I'm going to assume that that's yes, you can recognize this couple. If not, given there's a time delay, I'm going to see what they've got to say message-wise. Ah, right, okay, so confirmation that you can take that. Okay, so why is Nana and her partner coming forward then? It's almost as though they don't want to say anything to you, which seems very strange. But that's the message. They've got nothing. It's not that they've got nothing to say to you. It's not that they're ignoring you. It's whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you want to hear from them about, they've got nothing to say. Yeah, that's it. There's something going on that you want their opinion about, something that you're doing just now. It's not that they don't approve of what you're doing. It's just that they've got nothing to say about it. It doesn't mean anything to them. Yeah, that's it. They quite literally, it's not that they don't want to speak to you. It's not that they don't have a message for you. It's quite straightforward. Whatever it is that you are asking, it's almost as though you're asking them about something. You've been praying to them, asking them about something, and they don't want to say something. They don't want to say it. I'm going to leave you with that. You've obviously got you've acknowledged that you understand what the message is about. So I'll leave you with that, Nicola. So coming to Tim Cunniffe. Tim, I've got 3 men coming forward. It's a group of 3 men. Tim, 3 very, very well connected. It's like, I'm almost going to say military. If it's not military, it's something like the military. It's 3. It's like 3. I'm not saying that the 3 of them are military, but they're comrades, and it feels like military. 3 people, 3 men. Definitely 3 men, brotherly, comradely. I'm not going to say they're in uniform, but they feel as though they should be. They're elderly. I don't think they were in uniform when they were elderly, but they were quite elderly when they passed. It's not like 3 soldiers that have died together. It's nothing like that. It's, if they're not brothers, then it's certainly, I'm just not getting beyond the sort of 3 men in arms together, brotherly. And I think we're going back at least a generation, maybe 2 generations. So Tim, can you recognize these 3 men? Ah, okay. So we've got 3 men in your family then. Obviously, brotherly, armory. That makes sense. I'm trying to get evidence. It's very difficult when I get 3 spirits like this all together. Trying to get evidence. One of them is drawing his attention to my forehead. A very painful forehead, or almost as though he's been hit. It might be a crash. I want to really hit myself in the head. It might be brain surgery, it might be injury, it might be a crash. but I've got enormous pain with one of the three of them on my forehead. So, Tim, can you recognize at least one of them from the forehead pain? Okay, right. I'm not going to try and get evidence of the other two. Let's just take it as you've got three family members. You've recognized one of the three. Now, let's see why they're coming forward. You're doing something just now that involves... Okay, you can't relate to the forehead. I'm going to leave you... Just leave that... Just take it as three family members then. See if you can maybe get something later about the forehead. Why they're coming forward? You're doing something about a wall. A red brick wall. Now that could be symbolic for housing in England, because up here in Scotland, when we come down to England, we always, we know we're in England because the houses are always red brick. I get the feeling it's physical, it's not symbolic. It's like, and it's not a house. Something, and maybe something to do with a red brick wall. It's not like building a wall, it's not demolishing a wall, it is specifically a brick wall. And tools. Now, it's not tools to build a wall, it's not tools to demolish a wall, but I'm seeing hammer, saw, chisel. All right, so none of this is making any sense to you then, Tim. I can only give you what I'm getting. They're not telling me what it is, they're just telling me to be ready for it. So something is going, maybe it's something that's going on around you, something, maybe the wall is symbolic, but definitely tools. Okay, then, okay, I was thinking that was the message. Let's take that as evidence that your father's here. Okay. He's showing me a pair of sunglasses, very specifically sunglasses. So obviously summer, you'd wear sunglasses in the sun. I think it's more than that. I think it's holidays. Yeah, it's sunglasses for a holiday. So, Tim, I think something about you and your holiday. Late. Something is late or is going to be late. Not the holiday. Something about the holiday is either late or is going to be late. So, Tim, something about your summer holiday is late or is going to be late. I'm going to leave you with that, Tim. So, Joel, I think that was definitely a message for Tim, but we sometimes do get crossover. So I think I think I've got your dad as well, Joel. So bear with me for a second. So, Joel, I'm getting something to do with cutting the grass. I know you've moved house recently. Have you cut the grass? So, Joel, a message for you, Joel, from your dad. Something about you cutting the grass or not cutting the grass. you've either not cut the grass or you have to cut the grass. Does that make sense to you, Joe? So, Joe, give me a yes or a no. Does that make sense to you? Something about you, he's like he's annoyed that you're not cutting the grass, or he's reminding you to cut the grass. So, Joe, does that make sense? Okay, well, you can make sense of that. I'll leave you with that, Joel. That's the message from your dad. I'll leave you to make sense of it. So now coming to Patricia Strick. Patricia, sorry that we got a wee bit of a delay. Sorry that we got a slight interruption there, but I had a message for somebody else. So coming to yourself, Patricia. Patricia, I've got somebody. Patricia, I've got somebody in spirit that I think suffered from dementia before they passed. A woman that had Alzheimer's or dementia before she passed. And I mean extreme Alzheimer's or dementia before she passed. Can you recognize anyone elderly? Short hair. Somebody with short hair, female, that suffered from extreme dementia before she passed. If not dementia, certainly extreme confusion. Okay. And for some reason, my attention is being drawn to my ear, as though something about, again, I know it's difficult to tell on the screen, but this is my left ear. Something about her left ear. Okay, so we've got two spirits coming forward then. Okay. So. Oh. And something. Patricia, are you suffering from headaches just now? Not your mum or your aunt, not your friend or your aunt, you. Are you suffering from migraines at the moment? I mean, maybe migraine's too strong, but certainly sore heads. And I don't just mean a sore head today, I mean a sore head. I'm asking them to take the pain back. It's very sore. So Patricia, can you accept? Okay. So you've got a migraine. Thank you, Patricia. I'm going to be running for the anodyne in a minute. Asking them to take it back. Give me a second. Oh, it's actually difficult to connect and concentrate with this. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Just a rhetorical question. Patricia, I do not diagnose. So just be absolutely clear, I do not diagnose. However, if you're suffering a headache like I had, have you had it looked at? Are you, seriously, do you take something for your migraine? And I don't just mean painkillers. Have you had whatever's causing these headaches diagnosed? If not, I'm not diagnosing anything, and I'm not telling you, be absolutely clear about this, I'm not telling you to run to the doctors, but I am telling you to take it seriously and maybe get it examined, because my head was unbelievably sore. Okay, so you have had it. Right, good. Good, so you are in control of it, right. That's good, so I'm not diagnosing, I'm just telling you something that you already know about. Now let's see why they're coming forward. Patricia, have you forgotten something? I don't mean to do something. I mean, you've left something somewhere and you can't find it. Like, you've been to visit somebody, you've come back, and you can't find something. And I don't mean something frivolous. I mean something like your mobile phone or your wallet or your, I know Paul, wallet, sorry, Patricia, your purse. And I mean you haven't found it. So you've lost something very recently. You've been to visit somebody. I'm not saying you've left something at the other person, but you've been somewhere and you've lost or forgotten something. Okay, so you've lost your camera, right. Coming back to what I said about you've been somewhere. You've visited somebody or something very recently. Check with the person that you visited or the place that you went to read the camera. That's the message I'm getting. That's where the camera is. Or at least that's where they're telling me about the camera. So I think it's like the last place you went, the last person you visited, the last place that you've gone, you've left the, you can recover it. It's not lost, but check. So I'm going to leave you with that, Patricia. Okay, coming to Laurie Perry. Laurie. Yeah, like I said, Patricia, it's not something to worry about. You'll get it back quite easily, obviously, because it's your friends. Before I come to Laurie, just reminding, if you want a message, please type up. So again, just to remind everybody, if you've joined us since I gave the instructions at the beginning, if you want a message, please type up that you want a message. Otherwise, you won't get a message. So before I come to Patricia, sorry, to Laurie, before I come to Laurie, just everybody, please, if you want a message, type up that you want a message. That was my wife giving me my written instructions to remind you. So, Laurie. Laurie, I've got a man coming forward. The words he's putting in my head, suave, sophisticated, almost as though he's got a better opinion of himself than other people had of him. At least that's the way he's portraying himself. It's almost, look at me, I'm being sarcastic. I do have a sarcastic sense of humor, just to warn people. But it's almost like, look at me, look at how well dressed I am, look at how sophisticated I am. It's his personality. It's not that he's arrogant. It's not that he thinks he's better than anybody else. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. He's not saying he's better than other people, but his personality is, he's got a very high, I'm going to say overrated opinion of himself. He acknowledges that now that he's in spirit. But when he was alive, he had this knack of giving, not saying it, he wouldn't say it, but he would give the impression, he's like, he's showing me somebody, I'm not saying this is how he dressed, but he's got like a cloak over his shoulders. You know, I've got a cloak over my shoulders, I'm French, I'm suave, I'm sophisticated. You're welcome, Patricia. But Laurie, can you recognize this man? I get the feeling we're going back at least one, maybe two generations. So I'm thinking somebody like your grandfather, or at least somebody at the level, the way he's showing himself, the way he's dressed. We're going back, I would think, almost. Okay, so your father then. I suppose, looking at your picture, yeah, that would take me back to the time period that he's showing the dress code of. He's coming forward. He's got something very specific he wants to say, but he's actually hesitating to say it. It's almost as though he knows that you're not going to want to accept what he's got to say. He's actually beginning to withdraw. I'm asking him not to withdraw. So bear with me for a few seconds. I'm asking him to give me more to work with. It's not an apology he wants to give you. He's not trying to say he loved you. Now, I'm not saying he's not saying he loved you, but I'm trying to get the words to articulate. It's like a feeling he's giving me, and I'm finding it very difficult to describe in words. It's like a cross between love and respect. It's not love and it's not respect. It's like a jumbled up crossover of the two. And he's actually making it very difficult for me to speak. I'm getting something in the throat. I'm not saying he had difficulty speaking. He's actually... Give me a second, just get this back under control. He's a very silent man. He didn't like using words. Or maybe it's not so much that he didn't like using words. He didn't like talking about things. He would rather avoid things than talk about them. What he wants to talk about is something that's going on just now. It's not, like I say, he's not coming forward to give you an apology about falling out with you before he passed. You're doing something just now. You're engaged in some sort of activity on a regular basis. I was going to say like a church, but obviously in the current circumstances, it can't be a church, but you're doing something just now on a regular basis that when he was alive, he wouldn't have approved of it. Now that he's passed over, now that his experiences are wider, he could accept it. He wouldn't support it, but he could accept it from you, if that makes sense. And he's saying to you, keep doing it. I mean, I know you told me you didn't get along with him, but I'm sorry, I'm finding him a very difficult spirit to actually read. He's not being very clear about what he's saying. Now, I'm sorry, Laurie, but I'm going to have to leave it because it's, like I say, it's confusing. It's not quite love. It's not quite respect. It's a combination. It's elements of the two. It's very confusing. It's something that you think he would have opposed. If he was alive, he would have opposed it. You're doing this on a regular basis. It's almost as though you're helping somebody. It's like you're caring for or helping somebody. Okay, right. So it's the Wicca then. Yeah, that's it. I think that makes sense, actually. Thank you for giving me that feedback. Because obviously, Wicca and spiritualism are very close. To be really honest, as a spiritualism, I just think Wicca is spiritualism under another name. But someone who's into Wicca probably would disagree with that. He himself agrees with me. If he was alive, I think you think, or he is saying that he would have opposed you doing it if he was alive. Now that he's on the other side, he's not encouraging you, but he's not standing against you. So I'm just going to leave you that from your father, Laurie. So unless anybody else wants to come forward and ask for a message, that is actually the last person that has asked for a message. So if there's anybody else here that would like a message, please come forward now and ask for a message. Other than that, I am going to ask Spirit, see if I can get a message to throw out and see if anyone can take it. I don't like working this way. I don't like getting spirits coming forward. I prefer to go direct to people. It's not my style to throw messages out. But unless somebody wants to come forward and actually ask for a message, that's what I'm going to start doing. So again, if anybody wants to come forward, now would be the time to come forward. Okay, Joel, coming to yourself. Joel, I've got a woman coming forward wearing a green anorak with a, you know, the sort of, not a hoodie, but a heavy green coat or anorak with a hood that she could pull over. It's almost, I'm not going to say it's a duffel coat because it's not a duffel coat. So, Jill, a woman in spirit wearing a green. Okay. So thank you for recognizing who we've got. Now she's drawing my attention to the number 13. Very specifically the number 13. Now that's symbolic for me because I consider 13 to be my lucky number. So, and it's also a symbol that I get from spirit when something good is about to happen. So, Jill, something very, very good is about to happen in your life. Something spiritual. Spiritual energy, spiritual activity. Are you aware of something going on? It may be synchronistic. Is there something going on in your life just now, Jill? That's okay. Okay, 13th of August. Yeah, okay. So it wasn't just symbolic, it was 13th August, the birthday party. Okay. Basically, she's sending an enormous amount of birthday wishes to the grandchild. Let the grandchild know that she's loving her. Yeah, that makes sense as well. That ties in with what was being described. No. More than that. Oh, by the way, Jill, just coincidentally, 13th August is basically my and Ying's wedding anniversary. So we're looking forward. We might be going somewhere for the weekend. So if we do, we'll let you know in advance. So she specifically gave us the great grandchild birthday. Why? Something to do with a birthday present. Specifically, she wants a birthday present to be given to the great grandchild. Thank you for that. Very specific. She wants a present to be given to her great grandchild on the birthday. She left a piece of jewelry. She left a piece of jewellery. I don't know who's got the piece of jewellery, but I don't know if the child is old enough yet to receive the jewellery, but something about the piece of jewellery to be passed on to this child specifically. If not at the birthday, it's to be kept in trust for the child. There's a specific piece of jewellery. Amber. Something with amber. I don't know what the significance of the amber is, but there's a piece of jewellery with amber that she wants given to the great-grandchild. I'm going to leave you with that. And she wants the great-grandchild to know that it's from great-granny. Very insistent on this. So I'll leave you with that, Joe. Thank you, Patricia. Oh, Jill, before I go elsewhere, I'm actually running an open circle tonight at 10 o'clock if you want to join us. In case you've never sat at circle, you say you're opening up. Anybody else that's here and watching, there's an open circle at 10 o'clock. If you go to this website, I think I just put it up in the comments. So that's justascottishmedium.co.uk. If you go to that website before 10 o'clock, I can send you the link. It's a Zoom meeting. I can send you the link. So anybody that thinks they're spiritually inclined, it's a circle at 10 o'clock. Kian? No, I won't give it a rest.
Another person, Josh Guffrey.
However, I have just blocked Kian from the meeting. So goodbye, Kian. Okay, coming to Josh. Sorry, I'm just looking to see you asked for a message. So Josh, I'm coming to yourself. Josh, just give me a quick yes if you're still with us. So Josh Coffey. Josh, I've got a man coming forward. Middle-aged to early 50s is how he's showing himself. Maybe the wrong side of 50, but not much older than that. At least he doesn't look much older. Quite smartly dressed, not wearing a tie like yourself, but certainly shirts, sports jacket, or blazer. So like I say, quite smart. Almost as though I want to place him in some sort of country club or gentleman. You know the kind of thing I'm talking about. The club, the tennis court, the sports club, but not a gymnasium, an actual, maybe even a golf club. Yeah, golf club. So a man in spirit, late middle ages to early 50s, smartly dressed, drawing attention to the nose as well. I don't think he had a problem with the nose, but something about the nose that was very specific, very big. I don't know if it's a big nose, but drawing attention to his nose. So a man, possibly a member of a golf club, possibly not, but certainly look and feel of him, very smart, you know, short sleeve shirt like myself in summer as opposed to a t-shirt, sort of blazer jackets or sports jackets, that sort of style of dress. So, Josh, can you recognize this man in spirit? He may not have been that age when he passed, but that's certainly the age that he's presenting himself at. So, Josh, can you recognize this man in spirit? So, Josh, just give me a quick yes or no. Can you recognize this man in spirit? Okay, so we've got, you can recognize him. Yeah, he's nodding. Also, drawing attention to glasses. I'm inclined to say reading glasses as opposed to driving glasses or sort of normal glasses, but he's definitely wearing glasses. No, why is he coming forward? Doesn't work that way, Josh, but I'll ask. You can ask him yourself. He's around you. He can hear you, so he's coming forward for a specific reason. Something to do with your work. He's showing me you working at home on a computer, so I mean, that's not exactly evidence. The vast majority of the working population of the Western world's doing that at the moment. But something is going on. Something about you communicating, like using text or Zoom in an office environment or from home. And because you can't see the person, you're getting confused. It's like somebody has said something by text, like some sort of text messaging. So it might even be email, but I'm more inclined to go for something like Spark or Skype or something like this, where they've typed a message and you've taken it the wrong way. I don't mean like you've been upset by it, but you've very specifically misinterpreted what's been said to you. And it's been very, very recent. I mean, I know it's the weekend, but we're talking no more than a day or two. Working days, that is, not weekend days. So that would take us to Thursday, Friday. So last 2 days of the week, Thursday, Friday, somebody, it's like, say, some sort of electronic form of communication where somebody has said something and you've either not been clear about it, but you have misinterpreted it, or you've looked at it and thought, oh, they mean X, Y, Z, and it's actually meant the opposite. If you can recognize that, go back and get confirmation of what you think was said. If you can't recognize that, go look at your communications at work over the last 2 days. When you see it, it's going to stick out. And when you find it, go back to the person who sent it to you and just get them to explain, like basically break it down. So I'm going to leave you with that, Josh. So thank you everyone for asking for the messages. Thank you for joining us. Just a reminder, we've already had Jill say that she's going to come along. Anybody else that wants to join us at 10 o'clock for an open circle, justamedium.co.uk. There's a form there, fill it out, make sure you do it before 10 o'clock. I'll look at it 9 o'clock about the latest, and anybody that fills that in, I'll send you the Zoom link. I'm not going to post it here because I'd have to go and copy and paste it. But basically, fill that form out and I will email you the Zoom link and you're free to join us. So if everybody would please join me. Jill, don't panic about that. You'll get a web link. Just click on the web link, and then if you don't have it, it'll download automatically. So log on maybe about 10 minutes before. You can do it from a mobile phone or a computer. Just click on it, download the app. Just takes a few seconds. Download it. It gives you the option to test your camera and your mic because you will need that. So test it before you come into the meeting. You'll then go into a waiting room, and then I authorize you to come into the main room. Now, I do that deliberately because we'll start quite promptly at 10 o'clock, maybe a couple of minutes after. So anybody coming later after that won't get into the meeting. So anybody else that wants to come along, as I said, www.justamedium.co.uk. Fill out your details there. Do it before 9 o'clock. No, it's 9 o'clock now. Do it before 9:30. I'll check at 9:30, and then I'll send out the link. You just click on that link, use the password that I'll send as well, follow the instructions. It's quite straightforward. So if everybody would please like to join me in a closing prayer. So, dear Father, Mother, Spirit, thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for me spotting that interloper and being able to deal with him very quickly. Please send our best wishes to him and let him bring his frustration out somewhere else. Let him basically open up and open his eyes that the world is a nice place, that there is evidence there if you're open to it. Please take the spiritual energy that we have generated amongst ourselves tonight, and please take it, roll it up into a ball, take it out into the world. I have one friend in America who is very ill just now and is having some very specific problems. Please use that energy to help her, to overcome the problems and to get better. Thank you for allowing me to be very specific with very one person tonight. Thank you, and please send healing to everyone that's here tonight because we all need healing. Thank you. Amen. So thank you again for joining us. I will just play my closing theme music as I always do, and have a good So thank you again. Good night. I've left the website up. As I said, if you can register on the site by 9:30, that'll give me enough time to get the links out to you if you want to come to the circle. We've got about 11 people already registered, so touch wood, the more people we get, the easier it is to work amongst ourselves. Just to explain what will happen, basically I'll teach you how to open, how to close. We'll do a guided meditation together, and then subject to how many people are there, I'll handhold people so that they can try and give messages. So hopefully everybody will get a message. Hopefully everybody will get at least one attempt to give a message. Thank you again for coming, and good night.